Never underestimate the value of a good bone. I put this on my last two written reports. I wanted to show you guys what I'm talking about. These water buffalo bones. They're very inexpensive. And they're very effective. I want to show you why before we dish them out here. So it's just a little bit, just a little rib bone. But see, it's still got some goodies on it. There's a lot of residual smell and a little bit of meat. And what's nice about these is they last a moderate time, but they can still get all the way through them. And that's what I like when I'm choosing enrichment stuff like these bones. So if I'm doing, if I'm doing enrichments, if we're doing a round of enrichments, I want to consider two things. One, how long can it keep the dog interested? And two, when's the last time they had it? So I try to switch up when the last time they had it is, so that, we can kind of Kong peanut butter, skip, water buffalo bones, skip, hide a treat, skip, just do scatter feeding with some kibble, skip that. So we're constantly changing it up so they can't predict the schedule. And just like I talked about yesterday with treating intermittently, you also want to do the enrichments with variation so they stay motivated and curious and driven. Hey, what am I going to get? Hey, what am I going to get? That's the mindset we want when we're dishing out enrichments. So why these bones specifically I like, again, they can get through the entire thing, much like an ear, dried ear, something like that, but it takes them a lot longer. So it kind of keeps their motivation going throughout the enrichment process, because if you just give like the really, really hard bones that have a little bit of the goodies inside, they'll get the goodies out and they're done. Those hard bones, the real hard ones, they don't tend to maintain interest in for too long. These guys, I love it. Once they figure out they can actually eat the entire thing, but they got to work at it, they're going to be busy, right? What we need to worry about first when we're doing the crating is that burning off any of that excess energy, right? So my big thing and the main topic for application for enrichments is crating for transition. Okay, I've mentioned it, but I want to go through it a little bit more detail and show you an exact enrichment exercise today. So we're going to be doing the water buffalo bones today, my number one preferred enrichment. And the girls are outside. It's snowy and cold, so I don't want to talk for too long. But I'm going to try and let in one at a time. That doesn't really matter in your circumstance. It's just the one. But just for the video, we'll try and do Obi first and leave my girl out there. She can handle the snow and wait a couple minutes. Obi will come in. Obi's going to know the routine. She's going to run down this hallway. She might want to sniff around and check what's going on in the living room, but that's not the MO. It's straight to the crate, okay? Straight to the crate for transitions. You have to utilize the crate in moments that are not just when you're going to be leaving, okay? If you only use the crate when you're going to be leaving, the dog's not conditioned to it with you, they're going to hate it. Why? Crate equals my person is gone. They need to have, if anything, the opposite understanding of it first, and then we just happen to not be there sometimes, and they don't need to be too concerned with that part. We want to kind of keep them guessing with that. So why we crate for transitions mainly is to get them into the habit of going into the crate to disrupt that carryover energy from being outside socializing, being outside training, being outside on a walk, being, outside at a party with friends and family, whatever it is. We're not carrying that energy inside. That's not how we do it in here. It's not a domestic setting. You're not running around, spinning in circles, playing with dogs, going crazy, flipping your treats around. Conserve your activity time with your dog and any other social time with the dog for outside, or for, if you can't go out in the cold that much, or you have some reason that you want to be doing it inside, conserve it to an area inside. Like my basement area where you saw some videos from lately, I can throw fetch down there when the weather's inclement. I can play tug down there. They can get a little rowdy down there. But up here, main level, where we have parties, where we have guests, not going to happen. So when they're going to be staying up here, we have to change their drive from that hyper pack associated mentality that get the energy out, play. We need to get them back into domestication mode, which is just chill, relax, sit on your place, nibble on a bone, chew on a toy, get some pets, cuddle up on the furniture if you allow that, whatever you're going to do. But it's a completely different drive. And you want to think about it like loading screens or like cut scenes in movies, right? We're transitioning from one moment of the plot to the next. Okay, we don't want the energy from one scene to disrupt what we're trying to convey in the next. So what do? We put a cut scene in between them, right? The transition crate time is your cut scene. It is a full reset. I always pay with something when they go in there. It doesn't need to be a water buffalo bone every time. I understand that would make for a spoiled dog. It doesn't even need to be a treat every time. It can just be one of their regular toys that they get used to, you know. Some type of hard toy, though. Hard bone. Something they're not going to get bored of in a couple seconds. And keep it randomized. One day it's a toy. One day it's a hard bone. One day it's a water buffalo bone. The next day it's this. The next day it's that. Keep it randomized. And then whenever you do not have the time and you do run into, man, I just need to throw my dog in this crate real quick. I got this guy coming to work on this thing. They'll be able to go in there no problem with no whining, with no nothing. If you pay them enough in the foundation, they learn to love the crate enough and they get rewarded enough where they just go, I'm going to wait. I'm going to get a reward at some point. I usually do. It's usually all positive in here. And then if you don't come back and reward them, the crate's associated with burning off that excess energy and then taking a nap. So they're just going to burn that excess energy off and take a nap. We're going to do OB first, like I said. We're going to do the other two guys right after that. Trying to think. Have the clicker ready. What I like to do is wherever the crate is going to be near, it's one specific room for me here. I take the little band on the clicker and I leave that right on the doorknob so I never forget. And if I get to that crate over there and I'm lazy and I don't want to go find my clicker, which definitely happens, I look to the door. There it is, right there. So I leave this dangling on whatever door is nearest the kennel, and then it just makes it so that we don't ever just get laps with it and take the easy way out and try to do it with our click our finger or something. Want to keep it the same noise. So leave it on the door handle. We'll go over there. She's going to run in. She's going to turn around. Right now, I'm still kind of getting her used to. I'm still getting all of them used to the cue for crate. The siblings are really good at it. Obi, okay with the cue, but just to tell you ahead of time before they run in, we do all this. When they're going into the kennel, it's the same signal for placing, right? We're going to do the same exact signal, but we're not going to say place because that has different implications, right? Place is a little bit more interactive. We use it for training. We're going to say bed, B-E-D. That's what I've been getting them used to hearing. So it's B-E-D, and not until they're in the crate and turned around am I going to click and give them the enrichment. So we'll go through everyone's individual schedules as to when to utilize the crate for transition times best. But just know, just have some stuff stocked up for it before you start. Have the peanut butter in the Kongs loaded up. Have the treats ready. You absolutely need to give them something that's, gonna harness their focus for just to take the edge off that initial moment of the actual closed door and the actual person, moving around and doing something else. All right, I'm going to cut it there. We're going to do a little demo of everyone running in a second.